Welcome back to Brad Pitt Career Mode on F1 25. Today we're back for episode number 10 in Canada. So last episode we couldn't really do any research or development because we had to wait for our facility upgrades, and those are finally done. Hell yeah. Phase 2 unlocked. Alright. So we should have plenty of things to research now. We got a major upgrade for front downforce in the aero department, which is fantastic. And then chassis, we've been waiting a while, but we can finally do the monocoque structure, which is a major weight reduction upgrade. And we got another major upgrade here for weight redistribution, so that's good. And we've got yet another major upgrade in the powertrain department for ERS, so we're gonna get this one underway as well. Really hitting all the major ones. So here's a quick look into what's in progress for the research. We have 1 durability upgrade, 2 aero, 2 chassis, and 2 powertrain upgrades currently being researched. So we got a lot of good things coming. Unfortunately, we don't have any upgrades we can put on the car for this weekend, but we can do 2 new facility upgrades. So we're gonna do development expansion on the powertrain. So we can do 2 new upgrades at the same time in the powertrain department, which is huge. And we'll do an aero breakthrough too. So we'll get a whole new set of upgrades in the aero department as well. So those 2 should be pretty good. We'll get a lot more upgrades that way. All right, into the race weekend we go. I do really like this track, so I'm hoping it's a good race. Oh my god, is it a sunny weekend? It is! Finally, we get a whole weekend of sun. Been racing in the rain for 3 weeks in a row. I'm so sick of it. So we had a 5th place finish last time out in Spain. The race before that was a podium in Monaco, a 2nd place finish in Monaco. So we've been showing pretty good pace compared to the rest of the field. Hopefully, we can get back up onto the podium this time around. The car setup is feeling pretty good for the most part. I'm getting good front-end rotation. The back end's a little oversteery, but it's very manageable. So hopefully we get a good qualifying session. All right, here we go. First lap in Q1. I definitely have been noticing some pretty quick times from the AI in the practice session, so I don't think we're gonna get pole position, but hopefully we can maybe shoot for a top 5. First lap of Q1 coming to an end here. Across the line, it's a 1:11.5, so definitely room to improve. Final lap in Q1 now, 7.5 tenths up on our previous time. Across the line with a 1:10.8, so that should get us through to Q2. Kind of a close call. 13th place in Q1. And we're gonna set a 1:10.9 on the old set of softs. Almost a second up on our previous time with a new set of tires here. Into the final corners we go by the wall of champions. Onto the main straight now, 7.5 tenths is the improvement across the line with a 1:10.2. Hopefully that gets us through, and we are through to qualifying 3. Oh, okay. We're a little close to Leclerc on the start of this lap. It's our first lap in Q3 on the old set of softs, so it won't be a very fast time. Leclerc's being nice and polite, letting us through. All right, here we go. Is he, like, literally right behind me now? Okay, yeah, Leclerc, I guess, is deciding he wants to go in front on this first lap in Q3. We're gonna try to make sure we stay ahead. Well, what is that guy doing, man? Dude, go away. You let me through at the beginning of the lap. What are you doing? Why are you trying to challenge me up the inside here into the hairpin? We have to kind of close the door on the Ferrari in qualifying, so pretty much ruining our first lap. I mean, it was going to be a slow one anyway, but yeah, it's the principle, man. Okay, well, not going to be a very fast lap, but our first lap in Q3 is a 1:11.7. Leclerc's still up the inside. Just go, dude. Just go. Go away. Okay, here we go. Final lap of Q3. I think I'm gonna shut up and lock in for this one. I really want to get at least a top 5 placement here. Okay, through the final couple of corners now on the main straight. We're 1.2 seconds up on our previous time. We set a 1:10.4, and it's gonna be 9th. Oh. Okay, well, mediums, hards, and then mediums to finish up the race. So hopefully that's a good strategy. I guess we'll find out. But 9th on the grid. We definitely need to make up some places into turn 1. We're actually 7th on the grid. Someone must have had a penalty, but 5 red lights are out, and we are racing around Canada. Really good start off the line right there. Absolutely launching up the inside of Yuki Tsunoda. Down into turn 1 we go with the inside line. We have contact with the Red Bull, and we're kind of getting pushed out wide here. Still 3 wide around turn 2, and it's going to be a drag race right now into turn 3. We have the outside line. We're going to need to brake a lot later than Yuki right there, and we take the position. So up into 5th place after a couple of corners. Really a good start to this race behind Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton in the Ferraris now. We can probably get past them pretty soon. Into the hairpin we go, making up a lot of ground on Leclerc in front, really close to the rear wing of that Ferrari here. So finishing lap 1, and we're in a really good position. Leclerc is starting to drop back just a little bit from Lewis Hamilton in front. There's been a bit of a gap between the 2 Ferraris that's been created, so there might be an opportunity on the straight here to go for a move on Leclerc, as long as we get a good exit out of the hairpin right here. We do still have a little bit of pressure from the cars behind, so we definitely need to make sure we can make this move pretty quick. It looks like we're going to be close enough, gaining a lot on Leclerc in front. Going to switch to the outside, take the outside line into the last couple corners here. Under braking, we pull ahead of Leclerc through the last couple corners onto the main straight. DRS enabled, and that's up into P4. So a couple positions in a couple laps here, and we've got Hamilton and Piastri fighting ahead. These 2 are still fighting, so hopefully they start to go side by side a little bit through some of these corners and slow each other down. Then we can gain a little bit of ground on them and maybe try to snag one of these podium places. That would be absolutely ideal. We are building a gap to Leclerc behind. It's 2.6 seconds to the Ferrari in 5th place. So getting dragged along in the DRS by Hamilton and Piastri is massively helping our race. They're obviously in much better machinery than what we've got, so it's definitely helping us out. We're kind of reeling them in a little bit, just lap by lap, just chipping away at the gap. They definitely are slowing each other up through some of the corners here, but I think with maybe a couple laps time, we'll be able to go for an overtake, hopefully. Only 5/10 to Piastri now. Into the hairpin we go on lap 9, really close to the back of the McLaren. With a good exit, we might have a chance here to go for something on the straight, but even with DRS, these guys absolutely run away. They get crazy traction out of corners on this track. We're pretty much out of battery as well. I've been abusing the battery to stick within DRS because it's giving us such an advantage. It's 5 seconds to Leclerc now, so definitely helpful to get dragged along here. Oh, looks like Piastri's finally going for a move on Hamilton here. Up the inside goes the McLaren. We're going to be braking very early for these couple corners here. They're slowing each other up, and DRS enabled onto the main straight, onto lap 11, and we should be pretty close to Lewis Hamilton. Under braking here into turn 1 we go. Pretty close to the Ferrari now through turn 2. Even closer, sticking to the rear wing of Hamilton now. A little shaky on exit. Slight kicks of oversteer, and Hamilton's going to pull away just a little bit, but we are a lot closer to the fight now. Looks like Hamilton's fighting back now. He's going to pass the McLaren again. The rears are definitely starting to struggle a little bit. I stayed out 1 extra lap from our pit strategy as opposed to coming in on lap 11 because I wanted to continue getting dragged along by the cars in front and continue growing that gap to Leclerc behind. But I think by the time we get to this next straight, I'll probably be out of DRS range. We're really starting to struggle on corner exits compared to these guys. So we're going to come in this lap and switch onto the hards and hopefully maintain this gap to Leclerc behind. We'll see. Okay, into the pit lane we go. The rears definitely feel like they need to be switched out. We got 40% on the rear left, which isn't too bad, but it felt worse. Definitely need a good stop from the Brad Pitt crew here. Let's see what they can do. It's a slow stop on the front left, taking a super long time, and finally we're away. So 2 weekends in a row, we get a slow stop from the team here absolutely terrible performance from the Brad Pitt crew. It screwed us over in Barcelona, and it's going to screw us over here. We built up over 5 seconds to Leclerc behind before that pit stop, and pretty much all that work is going to go away because of how slow that pit stop was. So that absolutely screws us. Looks like Albon might be going for a move into the final couple corners here on lap 13. He's kind of just sitting behind us in the slipstream. Not going to go for a move, I guess. Into the braking zone we go. And Albon dives into the pit lane. So that's why he wasn't overtaking. We've got Lando and George Russell in front, who are pretty much bleeding time. They're battling through a lot of corners, it seems. We've gained a lot of time over the last lap on these two in front, so hopefully we can get them pretty soon. Just about a second to the cars in front here. We might be able to go for a move pretty soon. They're going side by side through turn 1, which is going to open up plenty of opportunities for us. Into turn 1 we go. We can sneak up the inside of George Russell here around turn 2, barely getting the traction down, and we can pull ahead of the Mercedes before the next corner, and that's job done on George Russell right there. So Lando in front on the hard compound tires. Both of these guys have not pitted yet, so with brand new tires, we should probably be able to get Lando pretty soon here. This is also a pretty good opportunity to just stick in the DRS of a faster car for a couple laps here like we did with Piastri and Hamilton, and maybe try to build up that gap again.
A few inches later.
We're slowly getting closer and closer to Lando in front here. I believe his tires are probably starting to fall off. He's losing a little bit of pace compared to us. Oh, I don't know. We might be close enough to go for a move on Lando here. We got the DRS enabled. Used pretty much all the battery. I'm going to send it up the inside here. Late under braking, and here we go. Side by side with the McLaren. Squeezing him out completely. Just completely closing the door on Lando right there, and up into 6th place we go. So we have Piastri and Verstappen exiting the pit lane right now, and it looks like we've lost about 7 seconds to Piastri after that bad pit stop. So really feeling that one. We will probably see Lando come back at us at some point on this lap. He does have DRS and he's in a faster car, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see something from Lando. Just as I say that, up the inside goes the McLaren. He brake checks us on the racing line, just parks it on the curb for a second. Okay, well, we're not going to be close enough now to get Lando again, but we do have DRS off that McLaren, so it will drag us along for a little bit. But I assume Lando will be going into the pit lane. There he goes, just as I say that. He did 20 laps on the hard compound tires. Going to be doing a one-stop for Lando. I have to say, even though we had that slow pit stop, I mean, that did screw us over in terms of positioning, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't really feel like we have the pace this weekend. We didn't have an upgrade in Barcelona. We had no upgrades for the car this weekend either, and these hard compound tires are absolutely terrible in terms of grip. I'm sliding all over the track, and I can barely put the power down when I need to, so I'm really pushing every lap to try to keep up with the cars around, or at least keep people behind, like we have right here. Fernando Alonso going up the inside. I'm going to try to just squeeze him to the inside of the corner and close the door on the Aston Martin. But yeah, this is not really feeling very good so far. It definitely feels like we're pretty slow.
Okay, your pit window opens next.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, we're going to switch onto the mediums a lap early. Alonso around the outside into the end of Sector 2 here. Not really too much I could do about that move. But yeah, hopefully switching on to the mediums gives us a little bit more pace, because these hards definitely are falling off. I don't know if they just don't agree with the setup or what, but it's felt like I've been driving on ice. Okay, into the pit lane we go. Hopefully we're saved by the mediums, and also hopefully we get a good pit stop. I really don't want another slow one, please. All right, it's redemption time for the Brad Pitt crew. Let's see what they can do. Come on. It's a slow one. Slow one again. You gotta be kidding me, dude. What are they doing? That is so two slow pit stops. That's pretty much just race over at this point. It's going to be a struggle to get back into the points. We're down into 12th place, exiting the pit lane side by side with our teammate. For just a second here, I'm going to try to take the inside line and just speed ahead of him into turn 3 here. Down the inside we go, later under the brakes, and we have the grip to make that move stick. So luckily we're on the mediums, but the rest of this race is definitely going to be an uphill battle. Currently in 10th place, So 1 point to our name, which is pathetic. I don't think there's any more cars to pass in the pit lane here, so this is now our true position in this race. 8th place. We've got Alonso 6.5 seconds up the road on the hard compound tires, so he's that's pretty much how much time we lost on that slow pit stop right there. About 5.5 seconds to the car in front, which is absolutely terrible. And we've now got Ocon to deal with behind us. He's only 2/10 back now. He's gonna have DRS on us on this straight, so we might go for a move around the outside into the end of Sector 2. We can cover that off for the time being, but completely understeering off the track, both left and right. Ocon's gonna fly past us, and that's a position loss to the Haas right there. Absolutely terrible driving on our part right there. Just really couldn't control the car. I got spooked that he was going to go for a move around the outside right there, and ended up braking way too late, understeering off the track. Man, that was bad. Already losing a lot of time to Ocon in front. 1.5 seconds up the road is Esteban Ocon, so he might already kind of be out of reach. We don't have DRS on him. This is a disaster. And now we've got Sainz coming out of absolutely nowhere. He's going to make a move up the inside here, which will turn to the outside. We'll have the inside line into the hairpin here. We can cover off Carlos Sainz for now. He's a nice wide line. Squeeze him towards the wall. Here he goes. He's got DRS now, so he's going to pass us before we get to the braking zone. I'm going to just squeeze him as close as I can to the inside and cover off the Williams yet again on lap 28. This is getting a little close for comfort. It's pretty much guaranteed that we're going to see a move from Sainz here. I'm going to use all the battery we have left. Sainz will have DRS on the straight, though. I'm going to defend the middle of the track and see what line Sainz wants to take. He's going to the outside. We're going to have to be later on the brakes than the Williams up the inside here onto lap 30. Big kick of wheel spin on exit, and Sainz is going to come back for another move into turn 1 around the outside. He goes yet again. We have the inside line, and we can cover off the Williams for 2 corners in a row on lap 30 now. So really starting to struggle to defend from Sainz behind. This is definitely getting pretty dangerous at this point, really defending 9th place with my life here. We've been getting bad exits out of this corner all race long. It looks like it might cost us now. Sainz up the inside. We might still be close enough to fight back here. Up the inside we go. Really close to contact at the apex there, and back into 9th place. Constantly swapping positions with Sainz here. Yet another move from Sainz here. He's going to take the inside this time, and I think we're too far back to really do anything about it, but we can sit back and get in the DRS of the Williams here and try to get it back in the next couple laps. Really going to be pushing these next couple laps now. I don't want to settle for 10th. I mean, it's still not great to be finishing in 9th, but at least it's an extra point. We really got to try to get him soon. I'm on the mediums, so these tires are going to start to drop off a little bit sooner than the hards that Sainz has. So the longer we wait to overtake him, the harder it's going to be. Pretty close at the hairpin right now. We haven't been this close over the last couple laps, so this might be our opportunity. We're still pretty far away from the Williams here, but we have DRS, we have the battery enabled, and I think we're just going to have to go for it here. Send it up the inside from way back on the Williams. Here we go, late on the brakes, really close to contact with the Williams, kind of forcing him off the track. I'm going to have to let him take that position back, and I don't think we're going to be close enough to make a move into turn 1 here. So that might have been the only opportunity left in this race to get Sainz. We used all of our ERS on that one. We're going to really need to have to push to get Sainz now. He's just getting crazy exits out of some of these corners, man. I really feel like I don't have enough grip to keep up with the Williams here. Into the hairpin we go, and a lot further back than last time, teetering on the edge of not having DRS on the straight here. We will have it this time around, but we're already over a second away from the car in front. We got Lance Stroll gaining on us behind, which is very concerning. Out of battery yet again, and we're gonna have to try to fight this out on the last lap here. Stroll gaining a lot of time through the last couple corners. Into turn 1 we go. He's gonna take the inside line. We do have DRS. Around the outside we go into turn 1, covering off Stroll for the time being, gaining a little bit of ground on Sainz, but it's not gonna be enough to go for an overtake. So now at this point, all we can do is defend from Lance Stroll, defend 10th place, and make sure we at least finish in the points. I am really starting to struggle with the rear tires here. They definitely feel a little bit worn at this stage in the race. We got Lance Stroll going for a move around the outside here into the end of Sector 2. Under the bridge we go. We have the inside line, and we can defend from the Aston Martin. But again, struggling with corner exit here. Lance is gaining on us yet again into the hairpin. We have the inside line this time around. We can dive down the inside and cover off Lance Stroll for the time being. Take a nice wide line, force him towards the wall, and that should buy us a little bit of time on this straight here. But now we've got Lawson making the switch with Lance Stroll here. He's going to be the one going for a move here, flying past us way before the braking zone. Stroll passing us as well. We're going to have to dive down the inside of Lance Stroll around the final couple of corners here on the last lap, side by side now. Drag racing towards the finish. Lance is going to pull ahead. We have no battery left. And crossing the line in 12th place. Oh my God. That was an absolute disaster at the end right there. Oh boy. Well, Max wins 3 in a row, which is not good for our championship hopes this season. That was not the result we needed. That's for sure. Well, obviously we didn't have the best pace. 2 slow pit stops was, put us in an even worse position. It's not, only the team's fault, but that definitely did not help. And we got something to do. Great. You cannot be for real, bro. We just finished 12th place and you're asking to give bonuses to the team? You gotta be kidding me, bro. All right, I'll be generous. Sure. Okay, well, here's a look at the standings. So that result moves us down to 7th place in the Drivers' Championship with 89 points. We're still pretty close to the top 4. Pretty much 1 race win or something would bring us up to 4th place. So not too far off there, and obviously still in the same spot in the Constructors. Well, that's gonna do it for that one, but we have a lot of upgrades coming for the next couple races here. So stay tuned for that. And next up, we got Austria. So that should be a pretty fun one.